In today's video, I'm going to share how you can draw literally anything just using basic simple shapes. Using these shapes is just going to be a really simple and easy way to draw literally anything that you want, and it's really great for beginners. So I really hope this video helps you. Let's get started. We'll start from using a couple of simple objects like a coffee mug. So I'm going to make a new layer above that so we can draw on top of it. I'm going to look at like the bigger picture of it. I'm not going to focus on the details. This is a pretty simple picture. I can already see the shapes. I don't know if you're already seeing shapes as well, but you can already see that there's a big circle here. And when you're creating the shapes, you usually use triangles, circles, rectangles and squares. They're the like basic shapes that you were going to use. So this is one large, well, oval circle shape, and then the rest of the cup here is another like half circle. The handle is another half circle, and then you've got the bowl, not the bowl, and then you've got the bottom half part, which is another big circle. So that's the basic shapes of our coffee cup, and that's going to help you get started and like be the foundation of the drawing, which then after that you can start bringing it all together with lines and adding details. But anyway, let's just take another reference. So let's take this butterfly and I'll make another layer. So this may look a little bit complicated because you look at all the details and everything and it makes it feel like it's going to be hard, but it's really simple. So I'm just going to break it down. I'm going to start with the body first, and that's basically an oval kind of long shape there. And then you've got the wings. I'm going to separate those into two wings, but if we were drawing it as a large shape, it would be kind of like a triangle. And then this shape here, you can see it as a triangle like that, and then you can add this part on at the end and that makes like a half circle. I guess it depends on how your eye sees the shapes. You don't have to do it exact. Like, don't overthink the shapes. It's just to help you see the larger parts of the picture to really get down the foundation of it. So you could just draw it like that if you want to. You don't have to like put it into like sections. And that's pretty much it for the butterfly. So it's really easy to do. So I'll show you a couple of other complicated pictures now, I guess. Like, I'll show you an animal. I've got this little dog here. A couple of quick tips if you're struggling to see the shapes of things. First of all, you can like squint your eyes at the picture and it helps you not to focus on the details. Also, blurring the image is really helpful. You can go to Gaussian blur and if you just slide your finger across the screen, it will make it blurry. It just helps blur out the details of it, and that helps just see the larger shapes. So that's a really good thing to do as well. You could also turn the image into black and white, and this is really good as well for like seeing the contrast and value of the picture for when you're drawing. It just really helps you to see the actual shape of everything. You could also shrink the image if you're on Procreate, but just really training your brain to see images as shapes and really trying to avoid looking at any details before you start drawing. This part is just a round circle for the head. The ears are like triangles. And it's good just to do this exercise just to help you get used to shapes of pictures. And then as you get better drawing, you won't need to do this every time. Your eye will just be trained to like see shapes to help you know how you're drawing images. This part, I would say this is like a square, and then you've got the little paws here, and then this part is like a triangle. Okay, let's move on to drawing a couple of people. So I've got this girl here doing a yoga pose, sorry. For this girl, I will draw a circle for her head. This part of the body is slightly awkward, so it's like a bit of a weird bent rectangle. So I'm just going to draw like a rectangle shape, and then this part is another little kind of half circle. And the leg would be just a big, whoops. Oh my god, my pen just sometimes doesn't want to connect to the iPad. Always does that. That's going to be like a big rectangle. Here's another rectangle. Because that's where her knee bends, I would put that into two sections. And then you've got like just a little rectangle there for her foot. and again for that foot. And then for her arms, another rectangle. So yeah, when you break a person down, it actually becomes like really easy and simple to draw. So just another 2 quick examples then. Hopefully this is kind of making sense. I feel like I'm not the best at like explaining these kind of things, I don't know, but let me know if it's helpful to you. This one, you'd think it's a bit more complicated, so let's break it down into simple shapes and I'll show you how easy it really is to actually draw. So this is going to be like one big circle here. You really have to just picture like the large areas of the image. You really have to train your brain, your eye, to see just the larger parts. So I mean, you could break it down into the face and the hair, but to start with, I think it's easier to like combine as much together as you can into larger shapes and then start breaking down the smaller shapes within those large shapes. So for the body here, I'm gonna sort of cut that into 2, and I can see this as a big square. This hand and the mug are like together, and that's like a rectangle shape. I kind of see this part as like a triangle. I'm going to cut it off where her knee bends. So it's kind of like a big triangle. And then her legs here are like together in a big rectangle. This could be like another little triangle in here. And then the feet, you could say they were like a square or a triangle. You could put them as a triangle as well. So I'm not like kind of following the actual image shape completely, just getting the basic shapes of what it is. So if I just turn that off, you can kind of see how it looks. It's a little bit weird, but as you bring it together, it will start to look better. If we added the chair, maybe it would look a little bit more put together. And the chair again, if my pen would work, is just like another rectangle shape. I'm gonna show you just quickly how I would block off the hair, because hair, again, I feel like it can be cut down into like large shapes and it really helps you be able to draw hair better, and that's something I really enjoy doing. So to look at this hair, I could see this part of the fringe here is like a circle shape. This part here is another like circle. The hairband is like a triangle shape. And then this part of the hair, I'm going to cut it into 2 because you've got this bit that's kind of overlapping the back part. So this is like a kind of half circle shape. And then this bit, I would say it's just a rectangle. So I really recommend to take some images like from Pinterest or whatever and just do some studies yourself and draw over different references, really push yourself and pick a picture that looks complicated and see if you can actually work out the large shapes in that picture, because it's really going to start to help your brain realize how to put an image together, and it will help you a lot as on your drawing journey. So that's basically what I would do for the hair, and then just let's add in the rest of the body to make it look a bit better.